Welcome everybody to Saturday Training. This is Steve Kuchin. I'm a holistic health practitioner here in San Diego, California. And I love to share this knowledge about this product, how we could actually help this world of ours, because we're here basically to serve others. And a being is only as valuable as they can serve other people. Now, this is cutting edge technology we have here. And first of all, just get rid of some of this preamble. We do diagnose, treat, or cure or mitigate any kind of disease. We don't, if you are medically ill, you have to go see a doctor, please. And our products help the body become healthier and get into homeostasis. Now, what I wanted to do is introduce you to last meeting. We had a really nice dissertation from Susan Boer. And Susan has been a practitioner for decades and a very astute practitioner in Canada. And she met Jos Daniel. He's the creator and owner of Celluvation. And he had a talk with her. And Susan, I wanted to bring you on board and just share what you shared with us on the last meeting. Just an overview, it doesn't have to be long. Susan?
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I could hardly contain my excitement, as a self-professed science nerd and loving it. I'm naturally curious. In all the years of my practice since 1993, I'm an independent scientist and I study innovation, and I try to always look for ways that you can be your body's friend, and to reach only for the big gun interventions when you need to do that. And I found that I've arrived at this wonderful knowing that Jos and the good people around him who have maybe pointed him in the right direction as well, his inspiration is leading us to basically be able to strengthen our body and bring it into balance. And that way we don't even need as much of the green pharmacy, if you know what I mean, where we reach this for that, whether it's nutritionals or patches or other modalities. When your body is lit up and functioning and it's, processing fuel and hydrating, it's doing all its functions in all its neighborhoods. And therefore, you need less of other support. And this is an incredible aha. So it's so liberating. And for me, to meet Jos Daniel was like a bucket list kind of, feeling. And on Tuesday, I had that serendipitously, really, because I had assisted a rep with a call to corporate, and he returned the call and gave me such generous time because he could see I was just enthralled. And basically I asked him, I said, Jos, do you realize the magnitude of what you have accomplished? I mean, I said, are there any competitors out there? And he right away, he responded, he said, no, there's zero competition in this approach of what we call informatics. He said, we truly are a software company. And he said, yes, there's chemistry and there's physics, but the body responds to information. So I said, is it appropriate that we might call this novel class of wellness product infoceutical? Because we know we have pharmaceuticals, we have nutraceuticals. Those are the physical molecules. But now we have information, we have frequency, we have resonance. And so, I said, can it be infoceuticals? And he said, absolutely. And I said, would I be correct if I said, what we have here is a plant-based microchip concept that can hold resonant frequencies that are highly recognized by the body, by living systems. And they've become kind of foggy in the world of invisible, toxins that are out there. And so we're reminding the body what perfect health is supposed to feel like by bringing that frequency close. And I think he really liked that. And so we just hit it off, and we felt we were on track. And I really was humbled when he said, at this stage of this venture, he said, yes, we've had 3 or 4 years of servicing clinics and, practitioners, but we need to help humanity. We have to use social referral distribution that's incentivized, that really can have an impact. And it's done from the heart. It's a heart-centered mission. That was very clear to me. And he basically made me chuckle when he said he feels like he's the administrator and trustee of a giant nonprofit. And I thought, wow, this is part of that new way of doing things where it's like sacred commerce, and we do things for the right reasons, and you pay it forward. So I can't say enough about how impactful this approach to wellness really is, how cost efficient it really is when you wrap your head around it, and how then you can simplify your life by just, choosing whole foods. You still need to eat and good quality water, but according to Jos, a lot of other things may become redundant. And so I love the simplicity. And I asked him, would I be correct if I were to promote this among my friends, to say that there's also something built into this that would sort of help you in terms of the current energetic environment out there, with a lot of man-made frequencies. And, would that be also part of this matrix of frequencies? And he said, absolutely. It's just we don't lead with that concept because not everyone understands that. But in terms of our wellness community, that's highly relevant. So as you can see, I'm super excited. The results are quantum speed and quantum magnitude. So thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah, very good. I just had a question for you, Sue. Now, Josh, in order to get to understand this guy a little bit better, I mean, did you feel any kind of pretentiousness with this individual at all?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking that. He is so humble and so grounded, so real and spontaneous. I felt like I knew him forever, and he was just, he didn't filter his answers, he was gracious. In other words, when I asked about a few other approaches to wellness that are in the marketplace, we had a wonderful, mature discussion where we agree that we do not need to put anyone else down in order for us to have a piece of that wellness pie and make a difference out there. So I really liked that there's an ethics and a respect in the industry, but at the same time, he was very honest about what positive things and advantages we have here, which that to me, that kind of mature view is so important. And he was just a gracious soul.
Very good, Susan. Now, in relation to, you touched upon something having to do with other products and so forth. I mean, how do you think the role of this product is in relation to other products?
Wow. Thank you. I've done a lot of thinking about that, Steve, over the years. That's kind of, I'm a health advocate. Friends and colleagues will come to me and I look at innovation, and then I, transfer the information to the practitioner level and also to the general public. And I play around with devices, light therapy, pulsating field mats and systems. So that and nutritionals, I carry professional lines of nutrients and some very unique ones that do come through direct distribution. Otherwise, we'd never see them reach the public. So I strongly see the model of marketing is so important for innovations or products that need a bit of description, which this one is. It has the simplicity in that the body, it understands this song of life, and it encompasses a lot of features that other product lines, they may be in the form of, very interesting, like patches or nutritionals, but mostly they're still a little bit too specific. You see, they're this for that. Whereas what I've seen in my 1 month with this youth crystal product is that it's doing foundational core fundamental sort of service to the body. So the body can hydrate in the right compartments, which is hard to do. It can dial down inflammation. It is empowered to do its detox very effectively, and it's then empowered to rebuild itself, to regenerate. There are amazing messages and components in here to kind of give an entire facelift to your house that you don't want disease to live in. So when the body has this ability to take in the raw materials really well and expel the waste products, and then also go deeper, begin to, kind of activate a deeper detox. And also don't forget to protect us, to reduce the risk going forward. So your immune system is more optimal, your repair mechanisms, your reverse aging is what's happening here. The capacity of the body is so incredible, and here it's empowered to do that. So other products may have their place. I don't want to put them down. But if I had to choose for that $50 a month, other products, you would be looking at hundreds of dollars, and you would not achieve this kind of effect. So I'm just still quite in awe of what we have here.
Susan, thank you very much. And as folks, you can see what she resonates with truth. Because when you hear truth, it's sort of like, for the spirit, it's like food for the spirit. Susan, thanks for providing us with this delicious meal this morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So now what I'd like to do, I'd like to touch upon a mindset. I wrote something up, and off the cuff, I'm not that great as a speaker, but I when I put something down in words, I could think clearly, and because there's a lot of points that I wanted to bring up for you folks today. So what I wanted to bring up is right off the get-go, is what happens in your business, and this is on the distributor side, is all happens between your two ears, right? So and we all find ourselves sometimes in this situation that we don't like, whether we don't have enough money, we don't have enough mortgage money, or our bills are overpowering us, or something's going on, or relationship is going south, right? So basically the person, in my opinion, that got you into that problem was you. And the situation is that you got to change who you are, because the person who got you into the problem is not solving the problem. So the beauty of life, and I'm just going to read what I wrote here, if you don't mind, bear with me. The beauty of living life is living life in the complete present. That is the secret to success. One cannot create a future being in the past or having fear of an uncertain future. One example would be a way of thinking like this. Oh my God, they're changing the comp plan, and will it not be what I want, and my biggest distributor, and maybe all of my distributors, will leave, and overnight I will lose all my downline, and the company can't even deliver a single stupid box of crystals in a timely fashion. People are waiting for the company to get their SH ... together. What am I to do? What have I got myself into? This is all bad. Doesn't Josh understand my reputation is at risk? I said to myself, and all said to oneself, and this is all said to oneself out loud or to others in a higher, louder than normal pitched voice. Well, this is one manifestation, one reality. And this reality is most likely is looking through an incident of one's past that was not favorable, that didn't have a good outcome in the past. And this causes one to feel a sense of loss in the present. There are two minds that one has. One has an analytical mind, and one has a reactive mind. And according to research and work of the author L. Ron Hubbard, the reactive mind is full of incidents of pain, loss, of fear of loss, and this mind can be activated at any point in time by almost anything. You see, it is as if we're reliving the past in the present and acting out by commands from the reactive mind behavior recorded patterns that are not logical. They're not congruent to the present time environment. So if one is truly in the present moment, then one's analytical mind is engaged. Now that's where life is beautiful. One has to one's full faculties, one's intelligence and memory, in order to formulate solutions which resolve present time problems. And this in turn creates first mentally and then in reality a wonderful future. Let's take a look at here in present time how one's analytical mind would be working if one was in present time and one analytical mind was engaged. Well, let's use the example of the company changing the comp plan. Analytical thinking would dictate, obviously, Josh wants the company to survive and be here for a long time. So it is in his best interest to give a comp plan that is stable, is FTC compliant, customer and distributor friendly, and in which distributors can make decent income. I would be thinking how that would how that there will be certain requirements of the comp plan for me to produce and do certain things in order to get rewarded. The comp plan will delineate the rules of the game. And yes, let's look at this as just one aspect of our life, the Celluvation game. It's just a game. And L. Ron Hubbard writes this: a game consists of goals and barriers, and overcoming of known barriers toward known goals is what creates happiness. Let me repeat that. A game consists of goals and barriers, and the overcoming of known barriers toward known goals is what creates happiness. So in other words, if a person had no goals and no barriers that one would have to overcome, there is no way one could possibly be happy. So barriers should be viewed as a gift that can produce in the end happiness for you. Of course, guess who picks what barriers one wants to overcome? You, of course. You have that choice, what barriers you want to overcome. You have that freedom of choice. Holy moly, easy peasy. This is the attitude one should have. Thoughts make things. Looking at the comp plan in front of you on the page, one should think, is that all you got? Sheesh, bring it on. Now, one further should think, the company is going to survive for a long time, and Josh wants me to make a lot of money, and he wants a lot of people to get healthy. So whatever challenges the comp plan will present to me, I will out-create that and have more money coming in than I ever in any other MLM had, because I know the products are awesome, bloody awesome, and have been proven to be effective. Excuse my French. And those in Canada would understand French. Now, do you see the difference between analytical thought and the reactive mind thought? What you focus on expands. So focus your attention on what you want and do not ever, and did I say ever? Yeah. Ever speak what you do not want to have happen. Never. Speak out only your desires, your wishes, your hopes, and your dreams. And exercise your mind so you think in this fashion, because you're not going to get there immediately. To help solidify this, write down the thoughts that you have, that you want to have, and they are called affirmations. Write down how you see your future as if it were in the present. Post those affirmations on your fridge, your car visor, or your bathroom wall, wherever you spend most of your time. Also, think, for example, my group is growing every day. Every week, I help more people regain better health. I'm expanding my reach and money flows to me easily. I support my group well and I'm a great leader. I'm an inspiration to others and I don't need to worry about money coming in because I'm making more than I need. I'm now able to contribute to groups that are making the world a better place because I have plenty of beach money. And we all want that beach money. Another rule of the game is that money loves speed. Money flows where there is action, and not a lot to where only thinking is going on. I personally find thinking a waste of time and it makes my head hurt. Being in think, yes.
When you get done, I have something to interject when you get a minute. When you get done, when you tell me.
That's fine. Being in thinking this produces very little results, I have found. This is an action universe, and action can make your life magical. And I'd like to say this one quote by a very famous guy. There's no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than one you're capable of living. Nelson Mandela. So the moral of the story is to stay in present time. How does one do that? Go for a walk 20 minutes daily and look at your environment. Spot things close and far away from you during your walk. Like look at trees, look at the grass, look at the birds, listen to the birds, Exercise with resistance and stretching 3 times per week. Cut out sugar. First 3 days will be hell, and you will hate me if you don't already. After 3 days, I will be your friend once again. Take B vitamins and extra magnesium for your nervous system along with our products. If you have an inflammatory condition in your body, take, for example, 9 milligrams of boron per day, especially those with people with arthritis. It is a doctor, he was a biologist in Australia. He was looking at how his plants were thriving with boron, and then he just tried boron one time himself because he had arthritis. All of a sudden, his arthritis disappeared. It so happens that eventually he started giving out this boron. He made the boron. He sold over 10,000 bottles, and also the pharmaceutical industry got onto him and was going to shut him down. He quit his practice and he moved to England. So that's how successful, just 9 milligrams of boron per day. Like, we have magical products, folks. They can bring whatever you have or whatever you're taking to heightened elevations, okay? But for example, if you're missing boron in your diet, you could have a huge inflammatory condition, and it'll take about 2 weeks of boron, 9 milligrams per day, to help you. And his arthritis completely disappeared. Walk barefoot on the earth or sit reading with your bare feet on an earthing mat if there's snow on the ground, those in Canada. That is the moral of the story, folks. Now, go ahead, Tom. What did you want to say?
Steve, I'm sorry. Okay. I was muted out and couldn't find the button there for a minute.
No problem. Go ahead, Tom.
Give a quick story real quick of what happened to me in 2009. I had qualified for welfare with me and my family at the time, my wife and I, and she was a nursing student. I was selling insurance, and I was failing at it miserably because I was doing Medicare Advantage, and they changed the rules, the laws, and so I went into family insurance and just couldn't make it happen. So long story short, we were qualified, $800 in emergency food stamps on a little plastic card out in California, and full-blown welfare. And I said, well, I looked in the mirror in the 32-foot trailer we were living in, and I said, if it's to be, it's up to me, and we're not living on welfare. I appreciate it, but ain't happening. Not my family. And so I got an email from Stan Brower, actually. It was about the next billion-dollar weight loss product, Core 4, company CNI. And I signed up in that company, free sign-ups, no money made, nothing for 2 weeks. My wife was ready to throw me out because she said, you're crazy, get a job or something. I made $5,000 my first day and went on to become number one. But in the middle of that, we came here to Arkansas to look at homes, and she thought I was crazy. She said, we're just going there on vacation and we're going to come back home because there's no way we're going to get a loan, because my credit scores were in the 5 and hers were low 6. And I walked into a bank owned by Walmart, Arvest Bank, and they laughed us out the door. It was Christmas Eve. My ex-wife started crying. And I said, thanks for ruining our Christmas. They were saying, well, you're from out of town and you got a self-employed, we can't give you a loan. Next day, after Christmas, decided to go into a privately held bank, showed him my back office. I logged into my back office in a network marketing company. And she was the VP of the bank, and we connected. She went to the owner and she went to the president and called me at 2:30 in the afternoon and says, we got you approved for a $264,000 loan. My mindset was such that I was determined I was going to get a home, and it was going to get, I ended up with a nice car and the whole deal. And it wasn't like rubbing a genie lamp, but the mindset is important. And I've been down the road for 3 years struggling, coming back out of it. And now my mindset's getting back where it needs to be again. And everybody on this call, it's between your ears. That's the biggest hurdle, biggest struggle. It's not what's out there. It's what's in between our ears and how determined we are to just take the high road, be positive. Say, I'm looking forward to things getting better when finances get better. Not, I'm sick of these bills, because that's all going to just do is bring more bills to you. That's all that's going to do. So I'm sorry, that's my sermon for the day, Steve.
That was a delicious sermon. Thank you very much. that was awesome. That was awesome, Tom. Well done. Well done. Yeah, no, so I want to take a look at here. I'm going to share the screen now and take a look here, share a screen. I'm going to take a look at one position that I want everybody to jump into and take a look at it really heavily. Okay, this position is called director. Director. Okay, And this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 places up on the scale here. And there are people on this call who are director position, and let's take a look at the requirements. 8 personally sponsored distributors. Okay, 8. Not 20, not 30, but 8. Okay, so this is what we have to get, eight per people, right? Now, we have about 130 million people in the United States, right? So in your travels, when you go outside your door and you go for groceries, you're bound to meet at least 8 people, I guarantee you. Now, I mean, I'm not going to sign all these 8 people up, but I guarantee you, you'll meet 8 people. And the thing is, when you go there, don't sell anything. Create a friendship with this individual. Create a relationship. Like I say, listen, I've tried this product for a while, and I think this is awesome. I think it had done this for me, this for me, this for me, and the plus points of the product. And would you like to try it? You know, just get them on the product to get going. They don't have to be a distributor. Just get them on the product, and then later one day they come back to you in 30 days. Oh my God. And they took the before and after picture. Their wrinkles start disappearing. They're walking better. They're walking straighter. Their back is less inflamed, right? The sciatica is lessened, right? They'll say, how do I get more of this stuff, right? So build that relationship first. Build that relationship. That's the most important. People will only buy from you if they trust you, okay? And what do you get from a director position? You get check matching. And just let you know, folks, my check matching and my global pool, and the global pool you get here is right now almost equal to my matrix volume. That's how important these two things. The biggest money here in the company is check matching and the matrix volume, of course. But check matching is huge. So check matching, global pool right now in my income almost equates to my whole matrix volume of, I forget how many I have, over 500 people, distributors. And we're a small company. This is just the beginning. We're a neophyte in the MLM industry. You know, we just barely got born, you know. So the directorship also, what do you need? 8 management trainee legs. Well, what the heck is that? Okay. That is, you get 8 people. You already have 8 people. Now you encourage these 8 people to sponsor somebody else. Okay? These 8 people out of the 130 million people in the world, well, in the world, when we have billions in the world, excuse me, just in the United States. So 8 people gets 8 people. Okay? And right now we do have the requirement right now, this 100 PGV, a personal volume that these people have to have, right? I'm really pushing hard, and Josh is in agreement with me to get rid of that. So when we changing the comp plan over, we're gonna eliminate that. So we're gonna have 8 people gets 8 people. What else do you need? Director needs 5,000 personal group volume. Okay. So that means in your whole organization underneath you, you know, of all those 5, you know, but 3 by 8 matrix levels, all of those people, all the volume and everything has to accumulate to more than 5,000 PGV. And then you get 7 levels down. Of course, you'd like to have 8 levels down. That comes to the next one. I just want you to bite off this first thing to chew is 5,000 PGV. 8 gets 8. And check matching 5%. And a global pool, that means you get 1% of the entire volume of the commissionable volume of the whole world. The big enchilada. In Ukraine, on my big team over there, Russia is coming on board. We've got the Philippines coming on board. Canada's coming on board. The whole enchilada, you're going to have a chunk of that pie. 1% is divided by, and then each progression of the directorship further 5% up, that will be in your pocket at the end of every single month. Now that is wonderful. That is, for me, brings a smile to my face. I absolutely just love it. So that's what I wanted to do, is to bring that forth, you guys. I'm going to, actually, I'll just keep the recording on. because I'm gonna have to edit it out anyways. Very good. No, if there's any questions having to do with anything having to do with product, having anything to do with the comp plan, okay, unmute yourself one at a time. I'll leave everybody else muted so it's quiet. So go ahead if there's anybody out there in the world.
Steve, it's Susan. I was just going to compliment you on kind of the State of the Union address, because we are a baby. We're a fledgling venture, and the company's very receptive to our input. So the mature leaders with experience, I'm loving how they listen so we can navigate. And I see a very doable compensation plan here. It's quite friendly. And the one thing I want to emphasize is how large the volumes have been, because people are so excited about this modality. It's a whole new class of wellness products. It's so very different. It's so quickly noticed. And so the referral concept is happening so naturally and organically. And I looked at the volumes for the average account. It's far beyond what we normally see. So I think we're all celebrating this discovery together.
That's awesome, Sue. Good point. Yeah, I love the volumes myself. Awesome. Well done. And that's because all your hardworking distributors out there are putting the metal to the pedal. So that's perfect. Any other comments or questions? Okay, very good, guys. So I appreciate you all, and I appreciate you, and thank you for being part of our family.